Hi, and welcome to the show. I'm Lisa Bradshaw. Thanks for watching Life with Lisa Bradshaw. Today's guest comes all the way from New York. He comes every year this time of year to work in schools on an anti-bullying program that we partner on, the Don't Wait Project, and Mike Feurstein. He created UnMake a Bully. We'll tell you more about that program as we visit here this half hour. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me again.
So we've been hanging out for the last 3 weeks. We're actually partners in this anti-bullying program that Mike developed, and so we work together all year long, but we only work actually together a couple of weeks out of the year when you're in Washington schools as opposed to New York or other parts of the country.
Love to have you over to New York if you ever want to get out there, but yeah.
I know, in our spare time, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, we're here to talk about the program. So let's give people a history of how you came up with UnMake a Bully, and then we'll tell them how we joined forces.
Yeah, a couple of kids, a principal at a school I worked at in New York asked me to make a short video and about bullying for a upcoming, presentation, and the kids who I was working with had so many ideas that it became a larger movie. And then working with the council and the kids, we made 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11 more movies. But in that interim, I was connected with you and a parent back east, and we kind of formed this program we have now that goes into schools and does what we did there, but on a smaller scale, a week at a time. Every school gets 1 week to make 3 PSAs about anti-bullying, leadership, character, friendship, and all the things that help make a school run more smoothly.
Yeah, so when we met, you had been in one school, and I don't know how many schools we've been in to date. We've been doing this for 7 years together now.
Yeah.
Thousands of students. We think around 8,000 students we've worked with.
If not more than that,
creating maybe 1,000 PSAs, up over 800.
Yeah, close.
So the students write, produce, direct, star in their own story that they base on their experiences. Mike goes into schools in local communities, like in New York where he lives, here in Washington, in this state as well. We've worked in Idaho and California and Florida and even in Australia.
New Zealand,
when I say we, he's the one that's on the ground doing, working with the kids, and I'm the one that runs the behind the scenes stuff with the Don't Wait Project. So it's actually called Don't Wait to UnMake a Bully, which is based on obviously pairing up the Don't Wait Project and UnMake a Bully. So what is it, compared to where it started, when we hadn't even met, to where it is now, could you have ever imagined? What was your hope for it?
I mean, when we made the first movie, it was just, hey, can we do this cool thing?
And how long was the movie?
28 minutes.
So, okay.
Yeah, and it was shot after school, during lunch. Anytime we could find time and the kids could join us, we would film a scene and then they'd move on to class or go home for sports or whatever. So posting it on YouTube, we thought, oh, maybe some people will enjoy it, or the school district at least. And then we got calls from all over wanting more, or just wanting to know more about the movie. And it became part of curriculums in schools around the country, around the world. So after that, I was like, well, okay, let's make another one. And it was just making movies. It wasn't really a program so much as just something I've always done, make movies since I was a kid. And then when that parent asked me to do the program at the school, I thought, okay, this is neat for a one-off. And then other schools in that same district heard about it and said, oh, can you do that here? And I was like, all right, so it's a 2-off or a 3-off. And then I hooked up with you and we did schools out here. And then every time someone hears about it, they tend to say, what is that? And then when it's in their school, they go, wow, that's actually, let's do that again. And
well, that's what happens. So my job is part of it is to reach out to schools and work with grant writers and that sort of thing. But what happens is with putting it all together, I create a one sheet for most things that I do for my work, and with the Don't Wait Project or anything else I'm working on. And it's really hard to create a one sheet about this program because it's a lot goes into 1 week. So, for example, we'll have visitors from Entiat school here in just a moment on the show, and we've had in the past. Last year we had Wenatchee students, and we work in Kashmir, and we go in on Monday. Mike goes in on Monday, no matter where we're at, Washington or California, wherever we are, wherever Mike is, and works with the students on education Monday, and then script writing Tuesday, and then each class gets a full day of filming. And what they don't realize, that's why we started creating PSAs, because a 28-minute movie would take 28 weeks. So a PSA is usually, we do it about a minute to 3 minutes,
roughly,
and it takes all day long. from the beginning of the school day till the end of the day, breaking for lunch for 30 minutes.
Yeah. And the kids alternately think it's either the longest day of their lives because they had to be on their feet all day, or the shortest day because they want to do it again and again and again, and it's unlike anything they've done before.
And they learn that it's hurry and wait, you know, that there's a lot of setup with the camera. But they do it all. Mike teaches them how to maneuver the camera and, you know, use the sound equipment, and we teach them how to use things that they have, that they can build a microphone, what is it called?
Boom pole. On their own,
from Home Depot or Lowe's or any hardware store.
But it's not just the technological part that we're teaching them. There's a lot of social emotional, there's a lot of personal and social media, technology, interpersonal relationships, and they're learning all that without realizing it. I don't know if I should say that on here because then the kids will say, "Oh, I've been learning something." But that element too, teaching them how to tell a story. They take stories that are their personal, experiences and turn them into a movie that other people can watch and learn from, and they feel like, wow, my voice is important. My experience was important to others. So it empowers them in multiple ways, I think. Well,
one of the things too that I would like to explain to our viewers is that you spend 90 minutes in each classroom, on 3 classrooms Monday, 3 classrooms Tuesday, and 90 minutes to write the script. So it's not just, hey, let's throw out some lines. You have a whole process for what you do in terms of really making sure every student gets their input, and then narrowing that down and taking votes on, what are we going to focus on for this part of the story? Let's throw this out, let's add that. And at the end, it is their voice.
Often it's a mesh of all their voices. Someone had a dialogue path they want to put in, or someone's experience gets in there, and another person had the same experience but a different outcome. So we try to come to a medium there, and I think the whole class by the end feels like it's their project.
Yeah, and we've been here in the schools. This is our 7th year. And it's tough because budgets have affected our ability to return to some schools. We've never had a school say we don't want you back. It's always a matter of funding. So we face that challenge in every school district that we work in throughout the country. But somehow I just believe we always find a way. We always find a way.
I like coming back to this area, and hopefully we can keep doing that.
Yeah. So we will be back in just a few minutes. We have guests from Entiat School District here to visit with us, a couple of students and a teacher, and we'll be able to show some clips of what we're working on. Let's real quick, you're going to talk about...
Oh yeah, well, a lot of the program is about leadership also, and among other things. And one child in particular that we're about to see, I think, really realized what kind of leadership he had. Kids were telling him that he had it, and he wasn't sure. And after our program, he's like, and you'll hear from his own words what he thinks of that.
So we have behind the scenes footage that we're going to show you as we go to break, and then we come back, we'll have additional guests on the show.
Ever since I was a kid, it's like everybody's thinking that I'm a great leader and stuff. Didn't really believe it until this week when I was a director for a day, just for that, and I realized I was pretty good at leading.
What do you think is the hardest thing of being the director?
Getting everybody to listen.
Yeah.
Elements is a nationwide top 200 salon celebrating 20 years of service in the Wenatchee Valley. We are staffed with educated and experienced designers providing beauty and health services. Visit our Facebook page for our store hours and our menu of services.
So Pam, how's your mom doing?
She's okay. She's struggling. She'd like to stay in her house, and it's getting harder for her to do the daily chores.
What kinds of problems is she having?
Just basic house cleaning, taking care of her house, yard work, taking care of her medicine.
It does sound exhausting.
It is very exhausting, and I always worry about her.
Aging and Adult Care can assist you or your loved one to remain comfortably and safely in their own home. Contact them today to start the conversation.
Hi, we're back. I'm Lisa Bradshaw. Thanks for watching the show. Earlier in the show, we talked with Mike Feurstein. He is my partner in the anti-bullying program founded by him, UnMake a Bully. We partner with the Don't Wait Project, Don't Wait to UnMake a Bully. And now joining the show, we have a teacher from Entiat who has participated in the program a couple of years now. Wendi Crutcher, thanks for being here.
You're welcome. Thanks
so you
for having
teach
me.
at the middle school and high school.
Yes.
So this is your third
year with this project.
Okay. So tell me about your experiences. So we worked with your individual classrooms.
Right. The first year we had, I think, 35 students, and we crammed into a little locker room, but everybody had a role, and it was amazing how it actually turned out with that many students. And then we had kind of an average class, and that went real smoothly. And then this year as well, an average size class, about 22 students, all had roles, all were actively involved. And
when you say role, you mean jobs. It could be director, not just
Actor,
acting roles,
right.
but director, sound, whatever that is, whatever the job they sign up for. So they get to choose. They have a, will you explain, Mike, how you work out the jobs?
Yeah, I do kind of a model set on the first day where they see what it's like to be on a movie set, and they get to pick based on what their friends have just modeled for them. And then we make a chart of their top 1, 2, 3 favorites. They have to do a little bit of a job interview. They have to tell us what they feel about it. And then on the day of, they're performing that role all day. Their sounds, scripty, slate, camera, BTS
and
camera.
sometimes they share a job. There might be, they might do part of that, do director in the morning and then be a sound person in the afternoon.
Some jobs are harder to share than others, but they always tend to figure it out.
And the clip that we showed at the end of that last segment was actually filmed by a student, because part of the job is also doing behind the scenes camera. So it gets a little shaky, but it gets the story throughout the day of the process of making the PSA.
Yeah, and I think what was unique this year was the class, the 8th graders were able to, this was a repeat for them because they did it in 5th grade as well. So a lot of them already knew the jobs that they wanted to do, and some of them did the very same thing that they did the first time around, and so it was
This
neat.
program is geared for 4th to 12th graders. So if they started it in 5th grade, we've seen some of them now graduate high school. Like some of them started in 5th or 6th grade, 7th grade, that we started working with them, and then we go back to the high school and they're there and they're leaving, or we're like, where's so-and-so? Oh, they're gone. They went for college. They're not here anymore. It's really, it makes you show how time passes.
Right.
So we're always curious, Mike and I, on our side of things. When we reach out to a school that hasn't participated yet, and we're saying, okay, let's make connections with the teachers who's going to be working with the students, what, from the very beginning, the first time that you worked with the program, what was your idea? What did you think it would be compared to how it actually turned out?
So the very first time I really didn't know what to expect. We were really working on, as a school, anti-bully campaign, and so what came out of this was just really exciting, because for the kids to not only be a part of producing it, but then role-playing the bully, or the person who bullies, the target, and then the problem solving of it all. But I think I was quite surprised at the teamwork involved with it. The kids really had to come together as a team. And then coming from a small school like Entiat, we can't offer a lot of programs, and so it was a new experience for all of our students too, to be be with filmmaking.
So you get to
and
manage a camera and use some equipment that they've
expensive
never
equipment,
seen.
work with a professional, and the excitement from the kids was what was really rewarding.
So then the second year, did you feel like, okay, now I got this?
The second year I got it. It's still, the whole day of filming is very exhausting emotionally, and just, keeping them together. And then the result of it is just so rewarding that you forget how exhausting it is. I don't know how you do it all week long.
Yeah, it's, and we purposefully plan the calendar to where you have some breathing time in between schools sometimes. Sometimes it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then other times it's just one after the other. So when you think about the program now, when you've like had this experience now, is there anything, what's your takeaway now that you've done it 3 solid years in a row? There's really no surprises anymore, but it still keeps delivering for you?
It does, because I think the issues change. I think about this group of kids as 5th graders. Their issue was more of the snitch, the tattletaling, and then here as 8th graders, it was roasting, as they called it, and roasting getting out of hand. Playful roasting, but then it builds on it. So I think that's what's neat about it, is that the issues change, and so there's always new material to work with.
And they had quite a breakthrough this time on that subject, I think.
An emotional breakthrough. There was some, improvising, improvisation, where the kids got to make up some of the script, and it became pretty personal to these kids and emotional, because they became, I don't know, more harsh, I guess. Their roasting really was out of hand, even though it was the role playing. And so I think they all kind of stepped back and said, wow, this can really get out of hand.
Yeah, we're finally able to look at it subjectively and see, or objectively and see that from the outside.
Yeah. One of the things, Mike, that you could probably explain to our audience, you mentioned earlier, you started to say bully and then you said, wait, a person who bullies. What is the differentiation?
Well, we could ask the kids that too, but mainly it's we identify the aggressor as the person who bullies because it's talking about their behavior more than about who they are, and because it's hard to change someone by saying, you know, you need to change to who you are. They don't know sometimes what that means, but if you can identify what it is they're doing that needs to change, you're hurting us, you're calling us names, then they can say, oh, that's what they want me to stop, and they can work toward stopping that part of their life, and maybe in doing so, they actually change who they are. Right. So saying person who bullies identifies the behavior more than the person being like labeled as a bully all their lives. They can change, they can see what the problem is, and they can make work toward it. Well, we've enjoyed working in Entiat schools. We worked 2 years in a row, and now we come every other year, and so we won't see you next year.
I hope we can. We're going to work at it.
We're going to work at it. That's one of the things that we try to do too, is partner with the schools. If there's grants involved, we can send you the information you need so that you can have all the tools you need to apply for grants. So anything that you need that I can help you with or Mike can help you with, we always will.
Okay.
So thanks so much.
Thank you.
When we come back, we're going to show an actual production that was produced at the Entiat High School, and we're going to have two students join the show and talk about the program from their point of view. So thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Elements is a nationwide top 200 salon celebrating 20 years of service in the Wenatchee Valley. We are staffed with educated and experienced designers providing beauty and health services. Visit our Facebook page for our store hours and our menu of services.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat. Poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
Hi, we're back. Now in the studio I have Sydney and Landon. They participated in Don't Wait to Unmake a Bully at their schools in Entiat School District. Thanks for being here. So you each had jobs on the set. What was your job?
I was the assistant director and I also acted.
And how about you?
I did the sound.
And this is your second year doing sound?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you learned something from last year to this year?
Yeah, last year I had trouble holding the microphone above my head when I was doing the boom mic.
Because you have to keep it out of the view of the camera?
Yeah, and now I finally got that down.
Yeah, so in 2 years you improved?
Yeah.
And what did your job involve?
I was kind of yelling at people all day at the assistant director job, and then kind of lying, telling what time we had left and what we actually had left.
So yeah, you're the one who gets everyone to quiet down on the set, so you have to raise your voice if needed, so people are quiet, and then you also, when you say lie to them, it's so that the production stays on time. If there's 5 minutes, you say, it's like, you know, you're 10 minutes behind, just to kind of exaggerate it to get everyone back on task. So we have a clip from the production that you did at Entiat High School, and you're at the middle school. We have a production, the PSA that you did with your classmates at Entiat High School, and we're going to show it now. Take a look at the work of Sydney and her friends.
Oh, sorry. Why was it my business? You know, at my old school, I just hacked the girl's phone, made her look bad on Snapchat and Instagram.
I mean, I don't know if I want to do that. We used to be best friends.
Yeah, used to be.
Hey, what's up? Oh,
Whoa, I didn't say steal it. You're crazy. I can't believe you did it.
Oh, I lost my phone today and I'm like freaking out about it because I haven't seen it all day.
Don't worry about it. You'll find it.
My life is on that phone.
Chill, we'll find it.
Sure, what about streaks?
It'll be fine.
Hey, Jayla. Brittany's been looking for her phone. Any idea?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think I know what happened between you and
You don't
Brittany.
know me.
I know that you took the phone.
I didn't mean to. Melissa told me to grab it so I could make it look bad. And I grabbed it. I don't know. I was just messing around.
You do you, not what Melissa wants. If you don't tell her, I'm gonna have to.
What are you, some kind of snitch?
No. I'm trying to help.
I don't want your help.
Then help yourself.
Fine.
What do you want?
Listen, we used to be really good friends. Remember Denny's last year?
With the straws and ketchup? Yeah, so?
I just want to know why you left me hanging.
We got into different things. I don't know. Aren't you friends with Melissa anyways?
Well, yeah, but she's kind of fake.
Nice. Good luck with that. Look, I gotta get going. What do we even want?
How'd it go? Do you wanna?
It went bad. I mean, I tried talking to
Good work.
Thanks.
What can you tell the people who are watching, who just watched the PSA, what's your definition or explanation of the work that went into creating that?
Like what it was about?
Yeah, well, just the work that goes into it. So the camera angles and the things that people can't see that's happening.
Yeah, it was hard to put it into words at what we did. It took a whole day, but it doesn't seem like we took a whole day to do. And like the camera work, that was actually really hard camera work to do.
It was all on a dolly.
Yeah, most of it was on a dolly.
Well, those scenes that you see where he's in constant movement, the camera guy is in constant movement.
And like the camera work and the sound, we had to make sure there wasn't shadows everywhere from the lighting or anything. And it was just all in a day's work. We had to keep on a tight schedule.
Yeah, the thing that I liked about watching it with the two of you, and we were both saying it, right, Landon, that it was like watching something that you'd see on TV. If you were clicking around the channel, it's like that's real production work.
Yeah.
And so from your perspective, you know what goes on behind the scenes. What have you learned all through the last couple of years of doing the program? Not just from the technical side of sound, but what have you learned about the message that it's giving to you and your classmates?
Well, in 5th grade, when we did our Tattletale segment, we all learned that like the right times to like tell someone about it, or the wrong times to tell someone. And then this year we learned our class has a big thing about roasting, and wanting to keep it going like farther and farther. But then this year we like learned how to like not go as far and just to like stop.
And how people feel, because they talked about it in the your teacher and Mrs. Crutcher and Mike talked about how it really kind of went too far, and you guys felt that.
Yeah.
You could sense all of that yourselves.
Yeah, we did.
What was your favorite part about working on the production?
At the end, when it was like we finally got the last shot, everyone just took a huge sigh of relief, like, oh, it's over. But like we were all really proud of what we did. We were happy with what we had got accomplished.
Well, I really appreciate you both being on the show and participating in the program the way you have, and all the dedication that went into the whole week of getting this done. So thank you, and congratulations on your hard work.
Yeah, thank you.
And
Thank you.
We'll direct people to the PSA that they can watch in the future. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Are you wanting high-speed internet but don't have access to PUD fiber? Try Sky-Fi high-speed wireless internet from LocalTel. Call 888-8888 today.